Hello viewers, welcome to your program Development Zone where we celebrate achievers, unveil the core potential of the nation, and also celebrate those that have contributed immensely to the growth of the country. Today on the program, we'll be talking to a political gladiator. I call him a political gladiator because a man that has imparted life so much in his state, and a man that has touched so many people, a man that is in the business of politics. I call him business of politics because he's a political expert. What am I talking about? I'm talking of a person of Honorable Ahmed Aliyu Wadada. He is the former member House of Rep from Nasarawa State and also the chairman of Zidane Group Limited. He also holds several offices, but during our interview you get to know him more better. For those that doesn't really know him much, sit back, relax, I'll be right back.
Well, as you and I have been made to understand, because it is not our field of endeavor, we'll be made to understand that COVID-19 is a virus that has gotten all over the world today. Every part of the world experiences that virus. So that makes it a pandemic. And it is a virus that cannot be seen even with microscope. You have to use electroscope. So it is a war by the virus against the world. And when you are fighting a war with what is not visible to you, it becomes a very complicated and very tough war to be into. But having said so, it has come and we're experiencing it. There's nothing anybody can do other than to look for ways and means to remedy the situation. Governments all around the world have been active. Some have been proactive and active, and some have only been active. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, of course, before the advent of coronavirus, our healthcare delivery system has been in shambles. You know, particularly the primary healthcare delivery system, and even the developed world have been overwhelmed medically by this scourge called coronavirus. Permit me to say that our healthcare delivery system haven't been where it had been before the advent or emergence or spread of coronavirus here. Of course, you and I and every normal right-thinking person knows that our challenge would and should naturally be what it is today. Having said this, some governors, because this is not something that we limit to federal government, some state governors were as proactive as they should have been, while some were not proactive, and most Nigerians up till today, quite a number of Nigerians do not believe in the existence of that virus. But you know, you cannot stop people from perceiving, understanding, believing or not believing things the way they see them. What is most important is we should and must continue to propagate precautionary measures, being medically proactive and active. Above all, the most unfortunate aspect of it is there is no defined medication for this virus yet. But at least the medical world have the medical world has prescribed certain measures that could either curtail or completely deter people being affected to get infected by coronavirus. And for me, as a political leader, all I will do, or all I have been doing, is to propagate adherence to the precautionary measures put in place, and then provide some certain succor to my immediate constituency, because the emergence of it has led to what is today called lockdown. So, and lockdown in a society like this will definitely have a very, very deep effect on the citizenry, because most of our citizens live on daily bread. They survive as each day comes and it passes. So as a leader, as a political leader, we have been providing what we just to complement the efforts of various federal government and the various states we have on what is called palliative, though there are quite a number of issues around the palliative, which I personally also have my reservations as to how and what as to how the palliatives have been distributed. First and foremost, nobody should expect that the palliative will or should be enough to sustain him or her. The palliative is a measure taken to reduce the impact, negative impact or adverse effect of a situation. So if it is meant to reduce, not to completely redeem, but to reduce it, then we should appreciate whatever comes our way. But that's not what is the most important thing is. I still find it very ridiculous for us to have been sharing palliatives the way we have done in some way, particularly that of money. Why I find it ridiculous is that Nigeria is a country that is so desirous of data, full data collection of its citizens. In that regard, or to that regard, permit me to say that we don't have a reliable database for our citizens. Now here is a situation that has come for us to leverage on. To leverage on in the sense that and easily get data of 70 to 80% of our citizens. And how would we do that? This palliative should have been given through BVN of citizens. Whoever wants palliative to get to him or her should provide his BVN, his or her BVN. By so doing, those that already have bank accounts will benefit first before those that do not have. And those that do not have bank accounts, the situation would have compelled them to go and open bank accounts and get BVNs, because everybody will want to have a fair share of the palliative. And if 60, 70, 80% of your citizens have BVN, that means you already automatically have the data of 60, 70, 80% of your citizens that have provided their BVN. So you are now leveraging on negative, because as normal human beings, God has given us the ability and the capacity to turn around stuff. Whatever comes negative, you should naturally look around and see how, if you are not able, even if you are not going to be able to turn it to positive, you should look around to see what positive things can you get out of that. And so, but for anybody to tell me in 21st century, for crying out loud, that he or she has gone out there to give cash to citizens, I think it's, I am not questioning if a particular amount is given or not given, but I am questioning the method of the issuance, or the method under which the money was given. it is a very clear situation that is well known to all. Today, for the past 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, if not 9 weeks, there is no government institution, no private institution, no individual, if I may put that, which may not be different from private, but then some private institutions are managed by a team of people, while some businesses are run or managed individually. Permit me to say that none has been operating at optimal level, and that speaks volume. If businesses, institutions, and what have you are not operating at optimal level, then that means revenue. Revenue generation will be low. Patronages will naturally be low, which will lead to low revenue generation. Return on investment will be low. Of course, every activity that has got to do with human endeavors will be low. And so the capital market is not an exception. It does not operate as an island. In the last, I think I saw it on the news that 2-3 days ago, the capital market lost over 100 and something billion as a result of low trading. And so it is an open secret that not only the capital market, the money market itself is affected, and globally, the whole global economy is in abeyance. Our budget was predicated on 50 or 50 something dollars per barrel. Today, Brent crude is selling at $24 per barrel, less than $25 per barrel. So that tells you that every revenue generating venture or endeavor is at its lowest ebb, and so it is really and truly a very deep challenge to the entire globe. Kefi Polo Ranch was thought about, conceptualized and established by me first and foremost to give back to the society. Secondly, as a political leader, what contemporary caring leaders do is they either take civilization to their people or they take their people to civilization. And so I thought, conceptualized and established Polo Ranch in Kefi so as to bring Polo civilization to Kefi, Nasarawa State, and contribute to the earlier existing civilization where it had existed in Polo. Why I said first and foremost to give back to the society, because Kefi Polo Ranch holds 2 tournaments in a year. One in support of orphans and the other in support of education. Whatever proceeds at the end of every tournament is, a great percentage of it is injected into the area of education to see how we can add value. And Nasarawa State University had earlier on benefited from that gesture. A number of secondary schools have benefited from that. Primary schools, because one of the tournaments held in education, in support of education, we brought in pupils from, pupils from a few primary schools around that community for people to see what we have done. And that of orphans, we have contributed food items, clothes, bed and beddings to orphanages from Kefi, Gidan Zakara, Autaba Lefi, Masaka, and up to Abuja. To support orphans that live in those orphanages. And as I'm talking to you now, we have Kefi Polo Ranch has printed more than 15,000 exercise books, pencils to be distributed to various primary schools within the 3 senatorial zones of the state. The books are there. We were just about to fix date that we were going to start the distribution when coronavirus interfered with our plan. I was an aspirant before Chairman Campaign Council. I aspired to the governorship of Nasarawa State under the umbrella or auspices of APC, and I came second at the primaries. Habun came second. The political leadership then at the state deemed it right and fit for me to steer the affairs of the campaign council, under which our serving governor today, Governor A.A. Sule, was the candidate, and then Dr. Emmanuel Akabe as his running mate. And also, I was not only a chairman campaign council A.A. Sule Akabe, it was A.A. Sule Akabe and President Buhari Oshibanjo campaign council. And God in his infinite mercies delivered us. Today, our APC candidate is the governor of Nasarawa State, and then President Buhari was returned as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I am not a desperate politician. Some see it that they have to be in a political office before, they have to be in a political office for their political life to continue. I don't perceive it that way. I left the National Assembly since 2011 and then aspired to the governorship of Nasarawa State in 2019 after 8 years, and God so blessed my efforts to have come second in the primaries. So I do not have any intention of running for the governorship of Nasarawa State come 2023 because APC is my political party. The governor that is serving today is of APC extraction, and we collectively worked together to deliver him or the government in office today. Why then do I have, what reason would I have to want to run against him 2023? What I feel should always be done is that when and if we notice what is going wrong, we should at every point do the best we can to correct the situation so that we don't rock the boat.
Welcome back, like very leader from Honorable Wadada Aliyu. Nigeria is a country. We all need to put our quotas together to make the better one. And he has also promised that he will continue to support the development of his state, which is Nasarawa State. And also he promised that the government of our country, I'm talking of federal government, will continue to put in that quota to make sure that COVID-19 will be eradicated from our country with the help of God. So I come away again, I really also just say, bye for now. Please do follow us on our social media platform for more updates and comments. On Facebook, Bolijo Media Communications Limited. On Twitter, BOJ_TV. On WhatsApp, 0703-477-8568. Our email, bolijomedia@yahoo.com. For more updates from BOJ TV, kindly click on the subscribe button and the notification bell sign beside.